Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode in my Becoming Me series, where I'm talking to beautiful everyday women who have had struggles in life and have chosen to find something that worked for them, and they're going to share their story with me and you. So today I have the beautiful Shannon, all the way from WA, with me. Don't you love Zoom?
It's the best.
Everyone all over the place. So, Shannon, tell me a bit about you and where your story starts.
Oh, wow. Where do I start? So a lot of my adult life, I just haven't felt like myself. Yeah, like I felt like I was just going through the motions, but I was here for more. And I didn't really know what that even meant. So I started doing self-development work, and I loved the process and I learned many amazing things through it, but still couldn't get out of my way. And I just couldn't understand why, like I was out there, I was looking for things, I was doing the work, but still there was something missing. So I was also in mining for a really long time. So I was driving dump trucks on the mines on a very few different mine sites, and had been doing that for about 13 years. So the last one that I was at, I was doing FIFO. And yeah, lasted 2 years there. And then my health started to deteriorate. My rosacea started to flare. My face just starting to get really puffy, really red. And I now believe that it was because of the chemical exposure. Being on that mine site definitely exacerbated that. That and the quality of the water up there as well. And food too. Actually, let's just face it, it's not a very healthy environment to be living in.
Yeah.
Not many people are thriving there. And because I had additional health issues as well, it just made things worse. So my boyfriend, Adam, he's so beautiful. He convinced me that, it was time to give it up, had my back. So then I was like, okay, well, now what? I can start my own kind of business. This is exciting. I've got time to do that. But I just couldn't. I knew that's what I wanted.
Yeah.
I knew what I wanted, but I don't know. It was like there was something holding me back. Like there was this push-pull thing going on inside of me, and it just was not allowing me to breathe or thrive in that space at all. Like I just didn't know whether I was coming or going.
Yeah. Yeah.
So then in that, my health got worse. And I got to a point where my face flared up like, oh, I'd like so bad. I'll try and get a photo for you so you can have a look at some point. And yeah, so puffy, so puffy. I could hardly see out of my eyes. I ended up with big scabs across my forehead and down my cheeks. I've still got scars now from it. It got infected. Now, this was also over COVID, and I'm not a fan of hospitals. And because of choices that I'd made, the hospital was the last place that I wanted to be at during that time. So I just knew that I had to try to heal this. And I do believe that our bodies do have the capability to do this as well. So I did go to the doctor. He wanted to put me in hospital. I was just like, not happening, definitely not happening. So I did have to take 3 courses of antibiotics, and that got the infection to a level where he didn't feel like hospitalization was needed,
Yeah.
which was great. But yeah, through that process, I learned a lot about myself, but also about humanity. On the days that I was brave enough to actually face the world, because there are a lot of days there where I wasn't.
Yeah.
I would meet the most beautiful people. They were just so humbling. They were so empathetic. They were so kind, caring, and so sensitive. And it was just what I needed in that time, just to know that even strangers had my back. So it was really beautiful to have that experience. And thanks to my dog, because I always had to take him to the dog park and get him out and about. So that journey just threw me quite a lot. And then one of my friends had come across Demi, Maz's daughter Demi, who's a transformologist, and she said to me, look, I think this is the answer. I think this is going to help you. I think this is what we need. So I jumped on a call with Demi. And then, yeah, the rest's history, really. Like, I had to prove to myself that I was ready, that I was worth it, that, I really wanted these changes for me. And that was really hard in that space because I was already so down on myself and
Yeah.
where I was at. So it did take me a little bit to get actually through the process, but I finally got there. And yeah, just the changes from that have been phenomenal. I um I I'm organized now, which I've never been in my life. Like, I was always that that person that was just like stuff being thrown everywhere. So that was quite interesting. I even, like, if we're going on a holiday, I pack before we go, which I never used to do.
Yeah.
What else do I do? Another thing that was really amazing for me was I had a thought. I used to have a pain on the side of my body, and through my emotional intelligence rising, I caught the thought that was causing the pain in my body, which was, what if she thinks I'm a fraud? So when I say that, really what I mean is, in subconscious,
Yeah.
is I think I'm a fraud.
Yeah.
So as soon as I had that thought, that pain in my side was the same intensity, same size, same depth. All of it was the same. And so I got Creatrix on that, and haven't had pain since. So
Fantastic.
that was, yeah, so that was really amazing as well. And yeah, it's just the subtle things now, like, I've been doing these interviews for ladies, which I would never have done. I've been getting my face out there,
Yeah.
which, I was hiding for such a long time. I just feel like I've got my own back, and I also am here to make a difference, and I need to make that difference because the world needs me.
Absolutely. And I think, your story is fantastic, because I think there are so many women who are right where you were, who, I know I want more. I know there has to be something more, but I just don't know what.
Yeah.
And I know I was always in my own way too. It's funny how we tend to do that. We always allow our insecurities or our self-doubt, and procrastination, that plays into that, and stops us from really getting out there and doing, the things that we want to do. So
And they become like our driving force, instead of the things that we really want. We really drive from the insecurity, and I think that in itself, when our self-worth is low and they are our driving force, then we're never going to be able to live the life that we're actually here and we're meant to create.
yeah,
So Creatrix has been amazing, just in helping me with my self-esteem issues,
yeah,
my self-worth, my self-love. And from that, then that breeds a new space in me for me to actually step up
up.
and step out and just create and just share these beautiful messages with ladies out there that need to hear it.
Absolutely. So from that place we were in, that doubt, in that knowing that there was something more, wanting something more. Are you at a place now where you're at peace with where you are, or is there more of a, like you said, a driving force to keep moving forward?
Yeah, there's still a driving force to keep moving forward. And it's interesting that you asked that question, because before I was uncomfortably comfortable, and I was sitting in that space,
Yeah.
again, because of the insecurities, because, yeah, not thinking that I was good enough, not thinking that I was smart enough, all of this stuff that had been dragging me down for, 44 years.
Mm.
It's just not there anymore. It's not there. So I've got this driving force, and just as I'm starting to get comfortable, it's like, oh, hold on, I
Hang
got
on.
to do something else now. Now we've got a new step, but I'm not scared of that anymore. I'm not scared of where that's going to take me. And it's amazing once, like, I've got to this place now synchronicities are starting to happen and occur, that would never have been able to happen before either. And that is, again, another little, kind of driving force, that's just showing me the way, really.
Absolutely. And there's a knowing in that there is more. Like, you can be stuck in a place where I want more, and I kind of think that there's got to be more, but I just don't know how to get to it. Where once you've stepped that step and then stepped another step, you know that there's more. So it's easier to kick yourself in the butt to get you to do that more. I think for a lot of women, and for myself, when I was there, I had no clue what that more was. I had no clue what it was that was missing. And it was missing in here. It wasn't missing out in the external world, because everything's there. It's all the same, but it was missing in here. And I think there's so many women with a missing piece, but just have no clue that you can find it, and it's within you, and it's just this simple thing that shifts you and changes your heart, your mind, your soul. It's hard to explain, but yeah, how would you explain it to someone who's listening out there?
Oh, it's interesting because so many people talk about you have the answers within. And I was always like, okay, yeah, I get it. But what does that even mean? Like, what does that mean? And how do we access that? Like, because there's talking that, but they're not teaching it.
No, they can't help you get it. They can tell you that it's there, but they can't access it.
No, absolutely not. And maybe this is what I was seeking too, maybe because I had heard that so many times. So if I was to explain it, I would say that this actually is the process that can get you to that place. And to that place in the words that you need to hear it.
And that helps you to accept who you are fully, to know who you are fully. Because when you shift the self-doubt and the insecurities and the worry and the hurt and the sad and all of these, it's like, getting through clearing all of the layers. There's just a you, and you're able to just be. It's weird, I suppose, to just say, oh, you can just be. Well, what does that mean, Maria? It's just there's a peace in that. There's an ease and a flow in that, isn't there?
There absolutely is. And, like you'll be in conversations and you'll say stuff that you would have held back before, or, you'll maybe speak to the person and let them know that you're not happy with what they've just said, but it's from a real just centered place.
Yeah. Not a place of fear. You're not holding yourself back or saying things that you think they want to hear out of fear. You're just being you, and trusting yourself, what you think and what you feel, and allowing that to guide you in relationships or out of relationships or into jobs or, life.
All of it. And one of the biggest things for me is, after spending 13 years in mining, I will never go back. I am never going back to a life that is not serving me and that is not for the greater good of humanity. And that life was not for me for a very long time, which is probably why my health issues showed up, because I wasn't listening and I knew that it wasn't for me.
Yeah. So do you believe there was a correlation between your emotional, the work, and your physical health?
100%, because I kept squashing my emotions down. I wouldn't, like I was saying, I wouldn't speak up in the conversations where I needed to. So many things were squashed down. Even as a child, I didn't feel safe to express myself. So I've never been somebody that's been able to readily and available express, whereas that's changed now as well, because the conversations come up and I just, and it doesn't how anyone else receives it. What matters is how I'm feeling and what's happening for me in that moment.
Yeah. And there's a freedom in that. That's hard to explain, I guess, until you've been there. Can I ask, because
the freedom for me, just before you do that, is healing.
Yes.
The freedom is healing. It showed up on my face for me to heal.
Yes. Yeah. And the freedom with me was the ability to accept a life without children and know that was, okay, and I'm okay, and it doesn't pain me anymore. You know, I can be 100% loving and accepting and beautiful. Give me a baby, I will hug any baby that comes anywhere near me. But there's no tinge of sadness or regret or sadness. I just said that, sadness or regret or the hurt that was there before. And I think if I hadn't got rid of that, I never would have been able to be around kids without inflicting my pain onto them.
Mm.
And I never would have been fully living myself because I would have always been full of all of that stuff, that terrible, icky stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So I was going to ask, because you said you had a beautiful, beautiful boyfriend who supported you as you were leaving the mining. Did you find any changes as you were learning and growing and shifting and changing and all of that within yourself? Did your relationship change or grow? Did you notice anything with how you were in your relationship?
Yeah, just more of myself. Yeah, like it's like there was an acceptance of me, which then I guess also projected out more of an acceptance of him as well. So yeah, I kind of felt like that. But at the same time, I just feel like we've both got each other's backs more than we ever have had before as well. And that, yeah, we're definitely in it for the long haul. You know, he's just been amazing. Like he's someone that is more in touch with his emotional side. So it's been really nice as well, you know, to have him have that balance in the relationship where I didn't have it so much. So yeah, so that's been beautiful as well. Yeah, so no, it's just been a really great journey, and he's noticed the changes in me as well. Like he has definitely spoken about that, and how far I've come in such a short space of time. Because I only had my breakthrough late last year, and I've done my transformology training just in January this year.
Okay.
So already my business is kickstarting, and you know it's super exciting to see where this leads and how many women I can help set free on this collective journey with you all.
Yeah, it's a beautiful, beautiful place to be in. And I know you've spoken to a lot of the other transformologists, and being in a room full, which we were at conference here not that long ago in May, in a room full of empowered women. How awesome is that? Where there's just no bullshit, there's no pain, there's no ego, there's no, it's just such a beautiful place to be, isn't it?
Oh, it was phenomenal. And I came from WA, so I stayed with two ladies that I hadn't even met. Now, one lady picked me up, I can't remember where, but she picked me up and drove me up to the Sunshine Coast. And then the other lady organised all the accommodation and everything for us. And then they gave me the main room. Like now, you know, like it was just. And this was the kind of relationships that we were having the whole time. Like there was just no judgment. There was just none of it. It was just empowered, beautiful women wanting to get to know empowered, beautiful women. It was, I loved
just
it.
Love in the room. You know, it's contagious, isn't it? Like hate and hurt and anger can be contagious over there, and that ego and you know, the bitchiness that can go on, you know, love can be contagious, and that confidence and the empowerment that comes from that, just feeling like you could walk up to anyone in that group and say hello, and not be shut down. Was a big thing for me, because I was never, you know, the confident type that would walk up to a group and, you know, just start a conversation. And I went on a holiday just about a month ago, and it was with 30 people. I had not met any of them. I knew a few of them on Facebook, and I joined a community because I could travel with others instead of always going by myself. But me being able to walk up, and I noticed in a couple of places that I wouldn't have done that before. I wouldn't have felt comfortable here to be a part of this group. You know, some of people knew each other, and and these people knew each other, but everyone sort of got together, and it was a beautiful community as well. But I could have shut myself off and not talk to anyone, but I found myself being able to just integrate with everybody, just being me and not trying to be something else or saying, what I think they want to hear. It's just being.
Yeah, so freeing.
It is. Yeah. Yeah, so if there was somebody watching thinking, oh, this creatrix thing, I'm just not sure. Maria can talk a good game. Not that I don't. I'm just me. I'm not talking a game. What would you say that was the biggest thing that you believe for you in your life? What changed?
I think the biggest change for me has been the belief in myself and the belief in the path that I'm taking and the courage to do that.
Awesome.
So
Yeah.
if anyone's listening, I would just say you've got absolutely nothing to lose and everything to gain here. This process is really simple, it's fun, it's fast, it's effective, and you do get undeniable change, 100%. And also you get a money back guarantee. So, I mean, seriously, you really have nothing to lose. Why not just try it?
Yeah, everything to gain.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Especially if you're been sitting there and just thinking there has to be more, which was the first thing that you said, Shannon. And I know I felt that too. There has to be more. There's got to be something more. I'm just not. This isn't the life I'm meant to be living.
Yeah.
For some reason, I don't know what it is. I don't know why, but there's just a calling in me that says there's something more.
And if you hear that, just listen to it and act on it.
Yeah.
It'll be the best thing you've done.
Absolutely. I think so too. Well, thank you so much, Shannon, for coming on and having a chat with me today. I really appreciate your time, and it's been a pleasure getting to know you and your story, and I am sure we will hear more from you as time goes by.
Thanks, Maria. Appreciate it.
Bye.
Bye.